Hello there, I'm Cephalad, and if you clicked on this video, you probably know of the game Kaiju Paradise, and if you don't, well then, cool, you're gonna probably learn about it in this video. Now, quick disclaimer before I delve into the topics for today's video. This is entirely based on what I know about the game and its developers. As it stands, I have done zero research on this, so if I get something wrong, please do feel free to correct me in the comments. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the topic of today's video, Kaiju Paradise. Kaiju Paradise is a game on Roblox primarily developed by Blacksoar from the group Laminex Co. For a more generalized explanation of the game, Kaiju Paradise is an infection team-based fighting game on Roblox that is free to play and has no fees whatsoever. The game doesn't even support game passes. It only has donations that you can make for basically nothing other than a few extra emojis in your slots. Now, I would go over the history of the game and its prior versions and its prior aliases. However, I am not educated on that, and I do not feel it would be proper of me to go into the game's history without being educated on it. So, thus far, I will not do that here. However, I may or may not research this and go into it later on in another video, but for now, that will not be a subject that I will touch, as it is also not a primary point of my video. Now, generally speaking, Kaiju Paradise is dying. I'll say it straight as it is dying out, it is losing players. Now, there also poses the question of why? Why is Kaiju Paradise dying? What is happening to Kaiju Paradise that is making it so that we are losing players by the daily? Prior a week ago, there was an average of 1k players daily. Now we're dropping to at least 400. So, what happened to drop the players that much? Now, general disclaimer before I get into the topic of why I believe that Kaiju Paradise is dying out. I have generally only the idea of what's going on with the community and the devs. I have nothing further than that, so thus far I cannot give a proper statement on why the community or why the game is losing players or any of that. All I can do is give what I believe the reason is. So anyways, if that bothers you, I suggest that you click off as it stands right now. But anyways, why I believe Kaiju Paradise is dying. Personally, I believe that Kaiju Paradise is dying due to the lack of care from the devs, the toxic community, and the fact that it's generally hard to do things in the game at this point. Most of the creators have come out to be problematic, and that alone has caused people to leave. Generally speaking, there's a lot of stuff that goes against the rules that happens that is generally ignored. Reports that are made through the bot system on Discord are not being moderated. I have played it for several years, and at this point the gameplay has gotten repetitive. There's nothing new, there's nothing fresh, there's not really much new mechanics. Gutraxians we've been promised have not been released. The devs don't even care to give us proper updates anymore. And it's very evident in the way that Blacksoar speaks that they don't want to even bother with it at this point. They're just pushing out updates at this point that aren't even worth the wait. At this point in time in the game, it's not really worth playing as it stands. We've been promised many things. We don't even get codes anymore. And honestly, I'd be upset too if I was them. But I cannot speak for the community. That is not my place to do so. I am not a communitorial figure. I simply am stating how I've seen the game develop throughout the years. People have seemed to become less and less interested as the community becomes more and more toxic and more impatient and more upset with the devs. And honestly, I can't really blame them. It's kind of their job to make sure that their player base stays entertained. It's just not enough for the players anymore. The players are getting tired, there's other games they could be playing at this point, and honestly, I feel like most of everybody in the player base is just tired of being ignored and not getting things at this point, that they're just stopping. They don't want to play the game anymore, and yeah. Not to mention all of the controversies that have happened with all of the devs and all of that. The game is becoming a lot more washed up and dried out and boring to play, but anyways, that's just my opinion on everything. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed or agree or disagree, feel free to interact as you wish. That's all from me. This has been Sevalod, and goodbye.